Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sports Jedi Network, where the booking gets questioned, the debates are spirited, and the chaos gets exposed. The nonsense and all the discreets and percussion this week. We had, hey, boo-boo, what's in the box? We had a championship stipulation, never, ever, ever, ever. We had the returns and our predictions and so many more. We got some heated conversations later on with Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. That shit ain't happening. We're going to break that into and more. We got TNA shaking things up, all Elite Dynamite, and all the different chaos here. Before we break everything down in this madness, we want to talk to you about our sponsors. We are sponsored today by Blackout Coffee. Wake up, stand up, never back down. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/rumble for 20% off, or use my referral code at SportsJedi20. And if you book it, it won't put you to sleep like SmackDown. Or if you need some energy to get going to watch all these wrestling shows with the grind, we are sponsored by G Fuel Energy. Fuel your grind, power your fandom. Use this PGH Chris 20 for 20% off at your checkout. He is an affiliated program that helps him. And because don't run on low energy with all the reactions over here and get fueled up for the debate with full voltage. And of course, Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes on the Sports Jedi Network. We're wiping out the competition. So we are proudly sponsored by Dude Wipes. All right. If you're here in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, join our live chat in the spirit of the debate. We want to hear from you. Don't just be a participant. Don't be a spectator, be a participant in our chat. And let me hand it off to the man who brings the energy, the coffee, the chaos, the sharpest mind, PGA Chris. Let's cook.
Yeah, I'm ready. A couple things this week to talk about. Obviously, we got some other things to talk about too, kind of outside of the wrestling world this week. But, couple things I liked, couple things not so much. And, we're going to get into that right now. So where do you want to start from here?
Hey, boo-boo, what's in the box?
What's in the box? I mean, yeah, we could start with the box. I don't know what's in the box. I'll be honest. I think yesterday, even on SmackDown, I don't think we got much, into clues or anything like that. People saying it's Jericho. People saying it's some way else, some other way to promote the new video game coming out. I don't know. I don't know why the Masked Man would be in a box. I don't know why Jericho would be in a box. I don't know why a person would be in that box, because we know somebody's not going to be traveling in a box for 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe they do it with somebody there and it's a reveal, but could be something to promote the video game. Could be something we're not expecting. I'm generally have no idea with this box thing. They want us to. They got us with the Masked Man. Now they got us with the box. So. I don't know, man. Maybe it could just be something to promote the video game.
I think it's two separate things. The Masked Man is something separate story, and what's
Okay.
in the box is another separate story. I don't think it has to tie in with one another. I could be wrong. I mean, who knows with this company where they're going and all that stuff. It could be something where it's a premium live event that they're trying to promote in the box or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. An event, aka some stipulation. Some things is Danhausen. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it could be a Danhausen situation. I don't know what it is, but that is taking the center of attention or the focus here in this elimination chamber because I think it needs it, Chris. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate
Yeah.
to say this, the mystery of the box is kind of needed because the elimination chamber, when it comes to the matches, other than the ladies, which even the ladies might seem a little predictable now, seems predictable, and we know who's going to win these elimination chamber matches.
Right.
I mean, you could say 80% is going to be Cody Rhodes winning the elimination chamber. I'm going to leave the 20% for variable for all the other 5 to 6 participants that's going to be in the elimination chamber. How they get there, Chris, is where we're putting. I don't know if I'm going to say this. I'm putting a lot of faith in WWE creative storytelling. Which, my goodness, do they have that cachet or that equity for me to say that? No, but I am going to say it in this instance to me to enjoy Elimination Chamber's men's match.
Yeah, I think all the matches we kind of know the outcome. Even the two singles matches that are announced. I think we know what is going on, and you're not completely wrong. They do need something like this to happen to get interest for the show. I mean, I don't know if this kind of ties into the Elimination Chamber. I don't know if you saw this before you went live. I know you're here prepping and all that stuff. They're doing a blackout in Chicago for the Chamber.
No, are we doing this now?
Fightful has reported this morning when I woke up when I'm getting ready to prep my setup. They're doing the blackouts for the Elimination Chamber. So ticket sales are low. They want people to go there. So that's also a reason to maybe get the Masked Man. But yes, Fightful Select reported this morning that they're doing the same blackout right now in Chicago as they are for WrestleMania. So they're doing that to draw interest into the show, which they need it. Like you're right, but yeah, that kind of does suck, right?
That's counterproductive. You're pissing more people. You're adding more to the fuel of revulsion and revolutionary cause. Here many times I've said this on my channel, and I won't stop saying it. We are now in a society of contrarians. Many times I've told you that. Every time, many contrarians, no matter what, it could be the sun is out outside, and they'll say, "No, it's too cloudy. There's too many clouds around the sun." Or it could be raining, piss rain. It's just a light drizzle, just to be contrarians. And by them doing this blackout, it puts a bad taste in their mouth. First and foremost, if you're in the Chicago area, you're kind of telling people you have to pay our prices and you're gonna like it. Bend over and take. Can I have another? Thank you, sir. Can I have another? No. WWE, TKO, these corporate fat cats, who with the bullshit analytics, thinks that people have that kind of money to spend to go watch an escape in wrestling. When right now we are having a hard time buying a gallon of milk, keeping our lights on, keep paying our mortgages, our rents, our insurance from all the insurance frauds, from the medical and home insurance. I could go on a tangent, but my point is, their life is kicking a lot of hardworking Americans' ass for them to be for TKO and group to act like asses to people when they're looking for professional wrestling for years to get away from their escape. This is an escape. Don't take that. Don't deprive us. Don't make us dislike your product and abandon your product like boxing. People have abandoned the beautiful art of boxing, the beautiful sport art of professional boxing. No one could give a crap. With all this, fighters fight once every 2 years for the big card and $99 pay-per-view cards, and only Vegas gets to go to see the fights and all that crap. They're doing this, hopefully, and TKO is doing this to wrestling, chasing the almighty dollar, Chris.
It's unfortunate because they're already doing this with their streaming services. It's not just tickets. It's not just this blackout situation. They want us to pay for ESPN Plus. They want us to pay for Peacock. They want us to pay for Netflix, and then you still need cable. So I still have YouTube TV. It is getting a little bit bad. I don't really know how else to put it. And it sucks because, again, people or businesses around the Chicago area or probably are not going to make a lot of money. Again, it's not, and this is the thing, Kev. It's not like it's a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. It's not even one of their big four.
Correct.
And they're still doing this. This is the future of WWE pay-per-views, ladies and gentlemen. It is. If you can't afford to go to the shows or watch it on your phone, how are you know? And they're starting to crack down on all the other ways to watch the shows. We're starting to experience that firsthand for ourselves. They're not going to keep that going much longer. So really, they're not going to make watching WWE easy. It's like the NBA. You have to go through Prime, Peacock, all these other ways to watch your favorite team. It's going to be the same way with WWE. And when if that merger does hit with Netflix, who knows if, they could have WWE. It's going to go all over the place, bro.
Yeah, it's a little out of hand. You want to, you have to evolve with time. Again, you're a dinosaur. The dinosaurs didn't evolve. They didn't get through evolution. They didn't survive. I get it. You have to evolve with the times. But my goodness, they are oversaturating with the way of consuming in different areas. They're Major League Baseball. One of the reasons, for many other reasons, I stopped doing Yankees watch along because one day they're on Apple, you're on Prime. You're on MLB, you're on MLB TV or ESPN or not everything's on the yes before was you and this is again sounding like an old relic and I know I have to evolve. Before when they were on MSG Network, you put the Yankees on MSG or WPIX on Channel 11. Then they went their own network, the Yes Network. Great, all the games are mostly on the Yes Network. Once in a while they were on free TV, but then it just got out of it. And the special showcase games were on the weekends. Fine, we get that. But now, you don't know what day the Knicks this year that Prime, Peacock, it's ridiculous to watch your favorite team. You can't. If you're a fan of that team, I wouldn't mind going to their app, to their website, and watch their freaking wherever they're at. But on that website, they don't even make it They don't even simplify it either. It's just ridiculous the way they're doing this, and they're doing this now with the professional wrestling, where we did, when football, even the great loving football that you guys love, it's on Netflix on Christmas Day, and now playoff games on the Peacock only, and it's crazy. It's crazy the way it is, and it sounds like an old man get off my lawn. But when is it going to break? To me, this break of the straw is these blackouts on these minor PLEs. That's a breakout because people want to gather to come together as a wrestling community and watch these events. Maybe they want to go to their local Buffalo Wild Wings. You know what? I don't mind sitting down if I could afford it and have a wings, beer, pizza, and conversate wrestling with other wrestling fans.
Can I interrupt for a second?
No, go for it.
I think what also is interesting? I can go to any Buffalo Wild Wing, and I just wanted, because you brought that up, dude, every single UFC fight, I can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch it. Dave and Buster's, all these bars, everywhere, they don't do this with the UFC. So my thing is this, and again, I know, do you see this kind of starting to be a TKO thing? Like, do you see them doing this for, like, when Max Holloway and Oliveira they're fighting the UFC 326? They're gonna block that out too, and that.
Well, it's anyone within a 50-mile radius of the event of the live event.
Okay,
right.
Okay. So it's not like, I see what you mean. It's not like any bar in the world can't show. It's just 50 miles from the
50
arena.
miles of the venue. Okay. So like for instance, like certain people that we don't.
Well, that's still kind of unfortunate, bro. Because think about the locals. Like they might not want to go. Like if they did that with Raw coming to Hershey and they did a blackout on Netflix and Hershey to go to Raw, like that would suck because I'm a local. You might not be able to go. Like I feel bad more for the locals that live there and don't want to go or just can't. Like
Can't afford it.
Right. Yeah. No, it's unfortunate. The same thing with Elimination Chamber. It sucks. And they're going to this United Center in Chicago. So they're not in the Allstate. They're literally in the United Center. There's all that's around there. Bars, Dave and Buster's, like all that. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, it's going to drive people away from the product. Kind of like myself when we were talking about not driving me from watching it, from attending any of the things they have going on is what I meant. Not watching, attending.
And here's the part that sucks. This is the part that sucks, that I think sucks. All you hear about cities, countries paying a site fee. If you're a city that really doesn't have a lot of tourism revenue, would you willing to pony up a site fee to bring wrestling to try to boost up your tourism economy, where the people that live there and should be excited for bringing this event to your city can't even go or can't even watch? Is that really a smart business decision for these cities and these site fees? Like where's the common sense or the analytics common sense in all of this?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know why they think it's a good business decision. Again, they're all about making money. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's nothing else. And again, we've had these conversations since they took over. Like it's they're doing it all around. That's why they're getting rid of house shows. That's why they got rid of house shows. How is it that ironically, Kev, that they do house shows international but not in America? They did all these house shows during the Road to Royal Rumble. Why? Because they know they'll sell.
Exactly. And because of
they're slowly taking us away from the WWE live experience. And some people don't even realize that. They still don't realize that. And me and you realized this months ago, that they're starting to take away from the fan experience. Last year's WrestleMania was really my first personal eye-opener. So it's like, it's unfortunate. They're going to drive and next year being in Saudi, WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know, man. The future of live experiences, all these worlds and people, you're still going to get your people that buy them, but I think you're slowly going to see a decrease. Maybe not right away, but I think we'll see a decrease in some of these attendances because of pricing.
The pricing, and you know what you're doing? They're killing the next generation of wrestling fans.
That too.
They're killing them because
they're killing the little kids in the front row with the Cody Rhodes t-shirts and all the things. Because when they think about this, right? And I just started this phase in my life a couple years ago where I'm a kid, I'm a teenager. Now that I've experienced, adult money, I might want to go to one of these shows. And it's like, you might drive that same kid that's like a teenager. Oh, I got my first paycheck. I want to go see WWE. Oh, what? I don't want to spend my whole check on this.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're going to drive a new generation away. I agree.
You're going to drive new generation away. You're going to hear, and it's the same thing, they're trying to make WWE into NFL Super Bowl for WrestleMania, or even and the thing is, at least the Super Bowl is just one game. The NFC title games are different, but TKO is trying to make every PLE feel like a Super Bowl. If you don't have that uber amount of money, if you're not that elite status, you're not going to any of these WWE live events or PLEs. You're not going to any of these PLEs because you can't afford it. They don't care because someone else will purchase it. That's the issue. When we as a community say enough is enough, we can't afford you. You know what? Go spend your profits on tarps. That's when they're going to say, ooh. And they're not going to do anything. They're not going to make adjustment. They'll just fire someone. They'll just fire head of creative. They'll find a fall guy, a person, a figurative blame, and then they'll still keep business and trucking along as business as usual. They're not changing this. This is the new world order of professional wrestling. Literally, brother.
I agree.
And it sucks because we want to provide. When I see a T-shirt, my breaking point, I'm gonna be honest with you, $35. This is the only last shirt I paid. That's why I wore it today. When I see that now they're 40, get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been, dude.
For a
Like,
T-shirt.
even that's why I've been buying a lot of AEW merch and
They're expensive, all of
TNA
them.
merch.
They're all
They're
expensive.
all expensive, yes, but you do get your affordabilities on some other places, is my point. Like, and they're not linked. WWE's linked with Fanatics, so Fanatics will bump their prices up. That's kind of what I mean. It's all expensive all around. I agree, yes, but look at WWE. They don't even have the WWE shop anymore. It's all Fanatics. They want money. They know Fanatics. That's why Fanatics Fest and all that. That it's a money thing. They make more money by doing this with Fanatics than they would in their WWE shop. That's kind of the unfortunate part of buying WWE merch nowadays, if that makes sense. Because if you bought an actual sports merch from Fanatics, you know how expensive it is, and with the fees and all that stuff. WWE shop wasn't really like that, and they did a lot more sales on WWE shop than they do now because of Fanatics.
Who's advising these decisions? These decisions are
Nick Khan.
It's stupid. Yeah, and he's doing great for the work, for the business. I mean,
It's Nick Khan doing these decisions.
Of course it is. It's frustrating because we want this company, professional wrestling all across to be. It's never going to be the way it was. It's not going to be family friendly. It's not. The wrestling was an alternative. If you didn't want to see animals, you didn't want to see, you had your clowns. It was like a Ringling Brothers. Wrestling in general in the early part that's what it was. It was a place for you to go with your family to get entertained as a family of 4, 5, 6 to go watch a night out, get entertained with the matches and so forth, the art. And now I don't know, it's turned into a multi-billion-dollar money grab business that doesn't care about the people that laid the foundation, the fans.
Yeah, I agree.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because we know how fun and entertaining and how it moves, and the thing is, we had this conversation off air. What is that? And it was meant to be because of a situation where the independent contractors situation. But meanwhile, you treat these talents as independent contractors, not to pay their medicals and all the different circumvents. But you quickly could tell us how much money you could make hand over fist, and how much you're screwing the consumer, and you're also screwing the performers. What's going on here? Because that's different. If they say, "Well, man, we're paying a shitload of money, but damn, they're taking care of their talents with medical insurance, retirement benefits when they get out of the ring." John Cena looks like he makes me feel the pain when he walks and gets out of a car, with the way he's hunched back and hurting, and all these other wrestlers and so forth. They're not even taking care of them. So where's the benefit then?
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, the whole independent contractor thing's BS. I feel I felt that way about it for a long time. It's all, they're signing a check, and then they make you to get a sign. Ugh, holy hell! They get these talents to sign a contract, and then because WWE writes their checks, they think now that, we got them, but yet they're still labeled independent contractors. I hate that. It's such a scam. It's also, they don't have to pay insurance and all that stuff. It's more of a, you get hurt in our ring and we'll decide how much we pay. When, I don't know how it was. I don't know how it is now. I know back then I listened to a lot of these old timers podcasts, even those mid card guys like Paul London, all that stuff. When they got hurt, even though they didn't have health insurance, WWE would cover it. So maybe they still do it now. I don't know, because Vince would cover. Like, I don't know if TKO is. I don't know how they do that. So I don't that's another thing to look out for. With TKO taking over now, I don't know how that whole thing works, because Vince, it was like, if you got hurt in my ring and I thought it was legit, if it looked whatever, like, yeah, I don't mind paying for it. I don't know how it is with TKO. Maybe they take that independent contractor status serious. I don't know.
And would it surprise you?
No, absolutely not.
Look at Rich Holland. He got released
Right.
in the middle of an injury.
All these people have gotten released in the middle of injuries. Dakota Kai, not like all these people have gotten released, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think they want to pay their medical. Whereas Vince, I say that because I listened to Maven the other day, and Maven he did a video about rebunking fan things, and one of the things was like WWE pays your medical bills when you get hurt, and he did a whole spiel about it. It was like, but when and I'm somebody who wasn't at the top of the card. I wasn't, The Rock, Cena, any of that. But when I got hurt, Vince paid for it. I don't know if and he literally said, if I was wrestling now, that might not have been the case. So that's why
Rich Holland did say that they're paying for his next fusion surgery and all that, but he did complain that there is no money coming in. So all right, they'll pay your neck injuries. They'll pay your medical salary. But he's not getting anything coming in. You still got to buy a gallon of milk. You still got to eat. You still got to buy a bottle of water.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Still got to Vince still paying these guys on the side
exactly
their contracts. Exactly.
Yes.
So, I think Maven even said he was still getting. I don't want to bleed his numbers out there, but he said it himself. I think it was like $2,000.
He made X amount of dollars. X amount of dollars.
Yeah. I think he said specifically $2,000 a week he was getting. Still, so that's something.
And then of course, since they're independent contractors, they cannot file for unemployment because they're not
exactly.
That's the loophole.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's not just professional wrestling; it's all across this country. Yeah. It's life. And we didn't even want to we got into it, but it's a good conversation to have because we always say a podcast for another day, and we never get to the other day. It's a good thing that we're making light to this because. When we could speak on this, we feel like we need to speak on it or say something because when we as a consumer is feeling like we're getting bamboozled by this TKO corporation with all these different apps. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The $30 for ESPN Plus app sucks. It's one of the worst investments I've done in this year. It's not really worth it.
I can't.
It's not. Only 4 matches per PLE, 5. Really?
I'm just going to do it the good way until something happens at this point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Look, Peacock, they haven't done a PLE on Peacock. Now they're going to do Vengeance Day for NXT. That's 12, and they raised their prices to $12.
Yeah, they're doing Vengeance Day the same day as UFC 326. I wonder how many people are going to tune into Peacock rather than Paramount, even for the prelims. All that. Exactly. If you're a diehard UFC fan, 326 is a good card. I'm very excited. That's Holloway and Oliveira. Yeah, like people are gonna, and that's another thing. Peacock too. With WWE, if you're a diehard like your son, he's gonna choose the prelims and all that stuff over NXT.
Oh, absolutely.
So like that's the one thing too with the services, they got to make sure this stuff is good, so people want to pay for it and not go to the Paramount Plus when they have another counter program.
Correct. And then it's the same parent company. How much they telling you that? How much they telling you about? They have other dates. Why? Really? Vengeance Day is supposed to be for for Valentine's Day, like a Valentine's Day. I don't know why they're doing it so later. It's taking us a little bit off the rails, but sometimes there's a lot of a lot of sense that doesn't make no common sense when it comes to these corporations. It's like. It's just they just data crunch and there's no common sense. It's like, really, what are you guys thinking about here? It's like it just makes you scratch your head. And the thing is, you got these people with no common sense making these decisions with a lot of money. It makes you like, really? I mean, it's just ironic how the world goes here. Speaking of something that didn't make sense, Chris, Becky Lynch and Yogi Bear inspired AJ Lee. That promo didn't hit, man. It just give me your thoughts, man. It was something that I felt sad.
I don't know, Boo Boo. I don't know.
Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo.
Dude, it reminded me like a Hispanic nickname, Boo Boo. I know a couple Hispanics.
She's not your average. She's not your average Latina, Boo Boo.
No, I agree. It didn't hit for me as well. I don't think. Again, with AJ being gone for as much as she did, I think they kind of dragged out Becky being champion. Not saying that her stuff with Maxine or Natty's bad, but they didn't do much with AJ. Obviously, those few months that she was gone, not even like vignettes or videos or something. So everything AJ kind of said in her promo where she was like, "I made your life," like not really, because you might have caused her the title, but she won it back when you weren't here. Like it just didn't connect. They're gonna have a match at the Elimination Chamber, which is gonna lead to another match at WrestleMania. I don't know why they would do the match at the Chamber. Why wouldn't you do like her and Natty, Becky and Natty at the Chamber, and then AJ could interfere during the match in Chicago, where she's from, her unofficial hometown. So, I mean, that's what I would have done. I wouldn't have her and AJ have the match at Elimination Chamber, because those are still two main event women. Those are still big name, people, especially AJ, who that would be her first singles match. WrestleMania should have been her first singles match back. So I don't know. It didn't connect with me, and even them doing the match at Chamber, they could have done it at WrestleMania, have Becky versus Natty, have AJ come out during the match. When Becky retains, boom, you set up WrestleMania.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with most of the stuff there. Maybe I'll throw a little bit of a change. I know why WWE is having Becky and AJ, because Becky could be that ring general to help AJ have a really strong hell of a match, which I got it. I get it.
Yeah.
I would have liked the tag team instead of, but then
Natty and Becky and Maxine and AJ.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then leading where chaos, whatever, if you the win for AJ getting the pin, whatever, and Natty and Becky pushing and shoving, and you could set up either a triple threat or fatal four-way at WrestleMania for the Women's Intercontinental title. Yes. Where now AJ Lee doesn't look gassed or unexposed in a one-on-one, because she's a multi-woman match where, that's gonna be the spots where they roll out of the ring and hide and sleep on the mat, for like the way Bobby Lashley did on that fatal, that multi-man match. And my point is, you could have Natty work here and there, a fatal four-way in WrestleMania, and they all look good, protecting the warts, even the warts of Maxine Dupree. I'm surprised they didn't go that route. I don't think AJ Lee is ring shape or ready to have a one-on-one in that level of Becky. Will she follow the match? Absolutely. But like you said, you're really going to ask me to watch it a second time at WrestleMania? Unless if they do the WrestleMania triple threat with with Natalia, Becky, and AJ Lee. But I don't know, Chris. I'm with you. I hear what you're saying. I just don't like AJ Lee coming out. First she talked to people. The week before, she talked like we had Down syndrome to the fans. And
she talks very slow.
And then yesterday with the cartoon references and the boo-boo and all that stuff. Are maybe she needs to have a conversation in therapy with her husband, and she needs a baby. Because that's what it kind of seems like. She's talking like a motherly figure to the wrestling fans. It does.
It does. It does come across that way sometimes.
Like, poor little child, the little baby looking down, and the mother. I don't know. It just AJ Lee needs to be a little more active. Maybe a match on Raw here, with a talent here and there. She's something with AJ, less microphone. I think we need to see more fists from her.
Yes,
for a little bit, not every week, but for a little bit, just a little bit. Let channel that inner Latina craziness on physically on someone. I'm going forward. We'll see how that goes. Did anything really stand out with you other than that mystery man making another appearance on Monday Night Raw? Because Monday Night Raw was not really a good show. We're gonna be honest.
No, I know. Yeah. Nothing really stood out. The mystery man. Look, I still think it should have been revealed the Monday after the Chamber. They should not be dragging this thing long. I don't know if Braun Breaker being out is the reason they're actually dragging this or not, but we got to figure this out at the Chamber, man. We got to. The Chamber is going to need something.
Now, the reveal of the mystery man, it's not the person who actually attacked on Monday Night Raw. I think the wrestler that portrayed the role of the masked man isn't going to be the masked man that gets revealed.
Yes.
If you understand me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. It could be
when they pull this, it's going to be like the Scooby Doo meme. So, I mean, my God, let's stick with the cartoons since we already had Yogi Bear reference. Let's stick with the Scrappy. You know, I think it's because clearly with the wrestling fans, with the cameras, the video cameras, that was Grayson Waller, but it's not going to be Grayson Waller, guys. It was him portraying doing the curb stomp and the role of the Masked Man, but the Masked Man is going to be someone different. People say it's Seth. It could be Seth Rollins. It could be so many names. Later in the show, where hopefully we ask an special guest to join us. People think it's Bad Bunny, and me and we have a segment that we're going to say Bad Bunny Logan Paul is not going to happen, and we're going to explain to you why. So we're waiting for our special guests, probably at the top of the hour or crossover the top of the hour. Will join us, and we're going to speak about that, Chris.
Yeah, educate me because I don't know. I generally, when I ask the question, I don't know what this has to do with wrestling. I'm genuinely curious. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to the conversation and learning something that I probably didn't know.
Before we wrap up this Monday Night Raw portion and move on to the next portion, look, I thought Raw didn't the number one contenders match there. I'm one for Elimination Chamber match. Proper guys won. We understood it. Asuka going to Elimination Chamber. You want to have that cachet, firepower was the right call, in my opinion. Interesting enough, where they're going to go with the males Elimination Chamber, because next week is the final spot. You're going to have Rick Brunson Reed in there, Jey Uso. I don't know why the original Grande Americano is there. I don't. To me, that's a little bit of a disconnect. I guess he's there to take the pin. But then we have Brock Lesnar being advertised in Atlanta, which is going to be a tribute shoot for AJ Styles. So I don't know whether, to me, this show is going to be all over the place, Chris.
One, this again, Monday Night Raw is when we talk about the SmackDown portion of this, and when people talk about maybe they didn't because I know we got some people in the chat that didn't think SmackDown hit either. It's stuff like this, probably because they get these big names and whatever. I'll get more into that later. My point is, I got one question. This tribute to AJ Styles, is he gonna be there?
I don't know.
All it's advertised is a tribute to AJ Styles. Is he going to be like? It's either one of two things, guys. He either re-signed on a Legends deal, or what? They're keeping him around. Long story short, or this is an actual tribute, goodbye, of actual farewell. Not like a farewell match, but it's one of two things. So we'll figure out what happens. And if he shows up, maybe they kept him.
But you have a lot of things for Monday Night Raw, though. You got still the mystery of the box build. The mystery of the box building. Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this now. Mm-hmm. So, because we talked about off air, I can see why people maybe not be. I don't want to say not as interested as SmackDown. It's not just because of the Friday nights, whatever. It's everything on the show on Monday Night Raw, whether it's good or bad, it feels important.
Okay. Fair. You make a good point.
Whether it's Jey Uso coming and out yeeting, he's still a tag team champion, big part of the show. He still has a lot to do with Monday Night Raw. That's important. Becky and AJ, we just went on the whole thing of how it didn't hit and it sucked. But that is important. The Vision, the Masked Man, important. Seth Rollins possibly coming back, important. They have Roman and Punk in the main event of WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar coming back. AJ Styles. I mean, everything on that show feels important, whether it's boring or not. You cannot say the same for Friday Night SmackDown. The only thing that people give a shit about on that show, Fatu, Orton, Cody, Drew, and Sammy. And they're all together. They're all feuding with each other. They're not doing their own separate thing that's going to get other people. And you can say Trick Williams right now on Up and Coming Rise. Other than that, you have all this cool things going on Monday Night Raw. And I could see why people might snooze on SmackDown.
Monday Night Raw, again, like you said, feels important. There's a lot of angles regardless of the fact where they go, especially with final Elimination Chamber spot. You know, AJ Styles angle, is it really a goodbye? What's next? Could it be a possible open? Also, when it comes to the mystery of the box, the mystery man, and now Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. And then Roman's going to come back in March.
In March.
On the road to WrestleMania. So, and if Jericho is coming back, he's coming on Netflix.
Oh, so, yeah. He's not going to SmackDown.
That's what I'm saying. So, he's not, yeah. So, I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see. Monday Night Raw is going to be hot next week.
Monday Night Raw is going to be a must-watch this Monday, believe it or not. Again, I hopefully the ads, they pipe down on the ads because it is a little bit of a chore. One thing about that, and not to sound a little hypocritical, we're gonna change gear here. With, of course, with our, I don't have my ads, so we can't run ads here for our breaks due to the fact that I don't have a new format. So let's go right into. Let's talk about SmackDown. We'll hold off NXT. Last night, Friday Night SmackDown. Difference of opinion. I'm gonna go with my thought. Friday Night SmackDown felt long. It felt a long show. Was it bad? Not really. There was some spots, some matches that this is why the house shows are needed. To clean up what you put on television is what's going to give the rhetoric or the stereotype to the wrestling community to copy and paste the same boring, not good programming. Because when you go out there and I'm speaking about the women's triple threat, the Kiana, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, sloppy, even the cross crucifix, even when she was doing the figure eight for the pop-up and Kiana sliding and getting the unexpected pin, worried me, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it worried me as well. Especially for Nia. She has Nia. She kind of like had Nia up like this, and then she's not an easy. It's not an easy spot to do with somebody like that. So, but real quick, because I know we have our guests. So, SmackDown, because I know we talked about this off air. I didn't think it was the worst SmackDown we've seen in a while, but that match to me didn't hit with the triple threat. The men's match, qualifying match, was good with Priest, Mello, and Trick. It was the Kit Wilson thing that I didn't really resolve with. It's Rhea and Julia is fine, but again, a lot of people, including us, yourself, they want to see Julia, blah blah blah, not really getting anywhere with her, and you don't need to build Rhea up as much as she already is now. Tiffany versus Alba, look, I understand the opportunities. I understand that. To me, Alba has been in the company for a while. They gave her some opportunities. Maybe you could argue they could have given her a little more, but my point is nobody's going to Alba Fire versus Tiffany doesn't interest me, especially when, again, the result, and we know that it's going to lead to something with Chelsea, her getting mad. We know the end game with that. And it's, again, maybe it does have to do with what I mentioned earlier with Raw just being very dominant. So I don't know. I won't spend too much on that. I know we got some other stuff to get into. So
no, we're going to get back. We're going to put a pin on the SmackDown because we got our guests. We were talking about this. I'm going to set the table up. We're going to hear from our sponsor. We're going to bring our partner, our friends here. Of course, we're talking about Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. Everybody's thinking about this match is going to happen. 1-on-1, 6-man tag, yada, yada. We're going to throw some light. We're going to give our opinions on why I don't think it's going to happen. We're going to have that conversation from Rican Reactions, from the podcast of Unappreciative Wrestling Fans, the one and only Alex Coquito. But we're going to hear from our sponsor, Dude Wipes, and we'll bring them right in. Quick message.
All right, quick break. Don't go anywhere. This segment is sponsored by Dude Wipes. Whether you're grinding through work, hitting the gym, or locked in for a full night of wrestling, Dude Wipes help you stay fresh. Simple as that. Portable, convenient, and designed for real life. And of course, this show is powered by the Sports Jedi Network, independent wrestling coverage, real discussion, and a community that actually knows the product. If you rock with what we do here, support the sponsors that support the channel. Now, let's get back to the breakdown. Take it away, PGH Chris and Sports Jedi Kev.
You're watching Jedi Sports Network with Kev.
Of course, let me bring in let's bring him in here. We're going to do that. And One and only Kikiriki, the one and only. What's going on, Alex? Está muted, papi. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I did a whole.
Pero ¿dónde está? ¿Qué pasó?
I don't know. Okay, there we
Now,
go.
ahora.
There we are. Hello.
What up,
You
Alex?
guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hello,
Let me
PJ
set that up.
Chris.
There you go.
How are you, brother? Nice to see you.
Okay. Que la que. A todo el mundo ahí, que la que. Buen provecho. And make sure that they have your vitamins. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Y qué? ¿Cómo? ¿Todo bien? Of course,
All right,
this is
I'm gonna talk about
great
this.
to
Let's go,
have you
sir.
here. Great to have you. Gracias por la oportunidad.
Of course.
We're talking. One of my things that is, I don't know, to me it grinds my gears, or it's pushing me towards the dark side of the force. Hearing the commentaries, you know, everybody's clamoring, and it does. I understand where you have that appeal and that gravitas to want to see Bad Bunny, Logan Paul in the wrestling ring, but this shit ain't gonna happen, Chris. I mean, Chris and Alex, I don't think that's gonna happen due to the fact with, of course, the national Puerto Rican politic conflict, controversy after the Hurricane Maria, the tax invasion there with the Act 60 and all that. Your thoughts? What's your opinion? Do you see that happening?
Okay, let's go back to you have to go back a little bit in time a couple weeks ago. Now, this thing started over two things. One, when Logan Paul was interviewed at somewhere, he said, "Are you going to be happy about the Super Bowl?" He said no, walked away. And two, his dumbass brother Jake Paul. I made a video about that on my channel. You can hear about that. I'm not going to delve on that dumbass. But the fact that after that happened, people are like, "Oh, you know, Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul and WrestleMania, Bad Bunny." I'm like, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, on paper, if Bad Bunny would have not done the Super Bowl, yeah, sure, it would have been perfect. It would have been a nice little like Puerto Rican versus a fake Puerto Rican. But now, seeing it now over the Bad Bunny thing, and I love that after the Super Bowl, a lot of people are trying to understand what Puerto Rico really is. I hear a lot of comedians and writers are like, "Oh, I sat down with my Puerto Rican friends and they never told me about this history." But then I asked them, they just told me about it. Like, yeah, you know why? Because we're Puerto Rican. We got our own shit every single day. You think we're going to sit down and like tell any other race our problems? Nah, go to Puerto Rico, sit down in the corner, now allow them fucking colmado, and then listen. Está ahí. I apologize.
No, tíralo al medio.
Exacto. So the problem I have with this Logan Paul and Bad Bunny is that if they do it now, for example, because first it was like, "Oh, they're going to do it for WrestleMania. Oh, then they're going to do a tag team. Oh, and we're not going to do it." That was by far the smartest decision ever. Why? You think in any aspect, if Logan Paul cuts a promo on Bad Bunny, he's literally cutting a promo on Puerto Rico. And they're going to say, "Fuck Jake Paul." And they're going to say Logan Paul sucks. Mind you, and I said this on my video, and no one really knows about this, Logan Paul's an asshole here in Puerto Rico, and he's rarely here. He's rarely here, ladies and gentlemen. His brother is, because Amanda Serrano. Pobrecita Amanda. Pobrecita. Sí. Pero with Logan, he just comes in for a second, chills, and leaves. But to come to WrestleMania, for example, Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny and with Damian Priest. Yeah, you got to put a Puerto Rican with a Puerto Rican. I understand why. They're good together. They're a great tag team. I get it. But you could have put it with Omos. Like, could have. Should have, would have. And here comes Logan Paul. Oh, coming from Puerto Rico. You know how much booze you're gonna get? I get it. He's the heel, but there's points, and Jedi Sports Network knows this. We need not go back to the 80s where someone gets stabbed in the parking lot. Do you need to have that happen again? You come to Puerto Rico, and I said this on my video. I think I said this on my video someplace else. For every person that's coming to Puerto Rico, American or tourist, and thinking they're hot shit, and you have a house in Dorado, from the airport to your house is a highway. Remember that. There is no safety from the airport to your house. The airport, sure, you're safe. The second you get in the car. But continue. I have more to talk about that. But let's talk about
that. Whether you're on la 2 or la 22, it's fair game.
It's fair game. Guess what? Before you get to Dorado, you pass Bayamon. Woe
And you're
to
not,
you.
and you're not going to go for
Vayamos.
chicharrón either. And you're going to make you chicharrón.
Oh, I love talking. But
No,
go on.
pero no, en serio. And why do we say that? Why is that? Because during the Hurricane Maria, the lack of effort, financial help, the wear down of the island, where you're starting to see American enterprise wealthy come and buy property and not pay this different tax with the tax exemption and the Act 22, Act 60, and of course they're living behind Dorado, but you see the not helping the struggles. You see the rich influence moving in there and changing the culture. That's why you hear the song, que no le pase como Hawaii, changing the and they want to, and it's fine if you want to invest, and I'm pretty sure the island loves the influx of tourism and capital growth, like in everything in life. But then they come in and want to change the culture, la cultura, la gente. And that's where the problem is. You hear that the guys like Bad Bunny, Ricky Morton, René de Calle 13 speak about not changing the culture, and it goes beyond the square circle mat. That's our point here, where I don't see, no matter how many billions or money they're going to make, I don't think they're going to put that difference in society to make good money.
It's a little bit more than that because it goes deeper, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll talk about Hurricane Maria because I was here on day one.
That's why we asked you on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll give you a little lesson because it's a wise man once said, "You will always remember your memories if they're tied to trauma or wonder. They will come to you like a television channel." So let's talk about it. Hurricane Maria happened in September. 9 months that people had no light. It intermittent months. 3 months, about 4 or 5 months, I got light back on the east side. In 2 months, the north side, Metro, got light. In 7 months, the south got light. And about 8 to 9 months, the west got light. As of now, in 2026, only about 8.6% of the island is still devastated from Hurricane Maria. That is almost 8 years now. Almost 8 years in a couple months. 8.6%. I had to look at the census and look at how many people are still without light, without water, tarps over their houses, just literally, and the roads are destroyed, so they have to go around the river every single day. We're Puerto Ricans. If you give us an apocalypse in front of us and the paradise is on the other side, we're just going to walk through it every single day. Doesn't really matter because we're on an island. Where else can you go? People forget that. During Hurricane Maria, corruption happened. We got the mayor of Ponce getting caught hiding supplies. We had the director of education getting caught by the FBI, closing down 262 schools to use those lands as property, which about 40 of them are, but the other 222 are just abandoned ghost towns or just ghost schools. It's really even in my town, there's 2 schools that are abandoned. I pass by it every single day. No one seals the windows and no one seals the doors because we're a community. Why are we going to steal the things of our own culture and our own history? We don't do that. And if any person tries to steal, they get their ass beat. Not the point. I and most of Puerto Ricans here survived off MREs for 4 months, and salchichas en lata, y arroz, and water. There was a point in time where the Canadian water, Nestle, came over here, but the water was poisoned, so a lot of people got sick and some of them died. At another point in life, they said only 54 people died during Hurricane Maria. 4,451, ladies and gentlemen, 4,451 people died, to the point that when the mortuary had no light for the bodies, they just stacked them up like plywood and left them outside and put fans pointing at the other direction. That's a fact. Women, old ladies died in their houses because they couldn't survive off the oxygen machines because there was no light for that. People got stuck in houses and died of starvation because they couldn't leave because the roads were destroyed. Then we get to the corruption of, after all that happening, the light finally came back about, like I said, 8 to 9 months later. Then the fun really started with the earthquakes. The earthquakes showed us, well, we have a lot of problems in the school. Most of the schools that we abandoned were messed up anyway. So if the schools were open, most kids would have died in those times. Guess what? Puerto Rican houses were made for hurricanes, not for earthquakes. That's a fact. After that, Cabrón Ricky Rosselló got caught with 625 pages of WhatsApp talking about homosexuality, calling us pigs, calling the women whores, and such forth and otherwise. case in point, the administration of Ricky Rosselló, basically 100% of them have all been arrested by FBI from 2019 to now, except for Wanda Vasquez, that she got pardoned by Trump. But we'll get to that a little later. The director of schools, the director of education got arrested. The director of morals and ethics quit. Let's hire another one. Fired. Let's hire another one. FBI. The director of moral and ethics got arrested by the FBI for kickbacks. The ex-governor, Wanda Vasquez, got arrested by the FBI for kickbacks and using her power for things. Again, all this is happening. Corruption after corruption after corruption after corruption. Then between 2012 and 2020, they did Act 60, right? And you were talking about that right now. Act 20 was the point that you come over here, you got to stay over here 6 months as a residency, and then you can use taxes to not really pay taxes. That's Act 20. It got transitioned to Act 60, even though people who are on Act 20 can still use that amendment. Act 60 now is that you have to buy property and you have to give money to charitable donations. I get that. Now, you were talking about buying land and buying houses, right? In Santurce, it is half of a ghost town because all the properties are all closed because of gentrifying. There are houses that are being sold for 300, 500,000, but there are also houses that are sold for 85, 150, 200, 90. And the land itself, you get a half an acre in a small house. You destroy the house, you got 2 acres of land for yourself. This is what I want to say. Act 60 is intertwined with the mayors of each and every town. I'll give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. My mayor is using the public disturbance law here that if your house looks like a public disturbance, you have 90 days to claim it or to redo it. If not, the mayor takes it for himself, and then he could put it on the market for real estate. Other words, and my mayor's not going to like this, and everyone knows this, he's going to take those lands and take those houses and take those structures, flip it, and give it to the real estate agents who are then connected to the expat groups, who are then connected to the people who are directly to Act 60. We have a couple Act 60 people in Luquillo. They're in the mountains. Why? Because they bought a house for $50,000 in the mountain that is beautiful. A house made by a person's grandpa and grandpa that has five bedrooms in the bottom, 6 bedrooms on top with a beautiful land. But that was just turned into an Airbnb by Mormons. True story. I worked for them for a week. Or you take a structure, for example, my mom's house. That some bitch went to my mom's house and went to my mom and said, hey, your house is a disturbance and we're going to destroy it. My mom said, okay, I don't like that house anyway, but I'm not giving it to you. Can I just destroy it and then leave just the base? Because the base, my grandma found a architect that made the whole base made of marble by hand in 1960 for like $500. That's got lucky. They said, no, you got to destroy the whole structure. So now my mom and my brothers and myself have to go over there, make it look like paint the pig with some lipstick and make it look good. Because if not, the mayor's going to take it. Every mayor does this in every town. You know why Dorado is called the Wall City? Because all that mayor took all those houses that were abandoned that he could have fixed, all the caseríos, all the parts that were doing, took that and just sold it to the real estate. And now it's just literally a walled city. A walled city. Act 60 people don't give the charitable donations here. They don't. They don't. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, and Jedi knows this because he came to Puerto Rico. There's buses here and there's a train in Puerto Rico, but that's only in Metro. And that's sad. Why? I don't have a bus to Luquillo. There's no train to Luquillo. There's no public buses anymore because after COVID, all the little small public buses are gone. You can't pay $1.50 to go to Fajardo to go pay your bills. Now you gotta pay Uber. And also, what a surprise that Act 60 and Uber is like this now. For some weird freaking reason. I was actually gonna do a video about that soon. Some weird reason. There's Lyft. There's only Lyft in Santurce. There's only Lyft in Santurce. That's it. Uber is everywhere. You can literally go from the airport around the island in one Uber if you wanted to. We're bored. We'll take you around the island for 3-5 hours. I don't care. I'll do it. I got some music. I don't care. But that's the point I want to say, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Paul and Jake Paul and people like that use us, buy land, exploit us, destroy the plumbing system, destroy the electrical system, destroying everything just for their own benefit. Then they'll leave us. We have no commerce. We only have tourism, alcohol, medical dispensaries, and the ability to train you to make something here or to be something here. That's the best thing about Puerto Rico and the worst. We train you in an occupation. We train you in a skill, but we don't train you in an imagination unless you're in a private school, a military private school, or the hat trick, a military religious private school, which is kind of weird, but that's true. And the last thing I want to say before I finish, fun fact, a religious person that's with the governor right now of Puerto Rico used $18.6 million to restructure a building. Why? Because he wants to make it into a church. Same building that a mega pastor used and got caught from the FBI. If you look out, I'll show you the pictures later, Jedi. A long time ago, there was a mega pastor that he took all that money they stole from the town and stole from everybody and put a life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex in front of the church. He put a life-size space shuttle, not a life-size, but like the Paris Vegas version, in front of the church. And then the FBI came and found out that he stole $5.6 million. And that is a relative related to the same religious person that's taking it right now. This relative of that same person. See how this all works, ladies and gentlemen? Pay a snake. You don't cut the head off the snake. They just run away and make 20 more snakes. And then their sons of their snakes would do it. That's all I got to say about that.
No, and this is the reason where it comes to, and this is activists or people with a voice, like a Bad Bunny, like a René Calle 13, like a Ricky Martin, and they're advocating, and they're a big voice of why they love Puerto Rico, why they're behind it, why they're not for the abuse that you just mentioned, and bringing to the state of light of what's going on in the island. Look, we have there's an organization that we found to our heart where this in Puerto Rico, they out there, they take care of the elderly. The abandonment of the elderly in Puerto Rico is sad. And I know, guys, this is a wrestling show, but we're trying to bring our point on why Bad Bunny and Logan Paul isn't going to work. It's not about them going in there and wrestling for 30 minutes of entertainment, because there's a lot of bad stripe outside, which they're contributing in different ways. And I don't know if they could put their differences inside enough to go out there and wrestle or to entertain unappreciative IWC hate, because you're going to hate it anyway. So I don't know if they, and look, Bunny already said he's not going to a football game ever again, American football game again. So I don't know. So it's not going to happen. Chris, I've been quiet here. I know you wanted to hear more, and I know you wanted to hear from Alex. And your any thoughts? I'll give you the floor.
Well, when it comes to, I have more thoughts really on the Bad Bunny and Logan Paul thing. It's like,
yes,
I could see why they won't do the match. I mean, like Alex said in the beginning, what really fucked it up was Jake Paul's comments, and then Logan Paul, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think his response to Jake was genuine. I feel like it was just like a cover up because people like know he lives in Puerto Rico or whatever. Like I don't know, but I obviously don't see the match happening. And especially like with Bad Bunny, like, and how WWE is, I don't know if that has anything to do with WWE being tied to Trump and all that stuff. And then Bad Bunny, that all, I don't know. Does that have anything to do with it? Because Trump does not like Bad Bunny, and Triple H is obviously heavy involved with. So I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter because like Triple H was loving Trump when he fought Damien, when Bad Bunny fought Damian Priest in San Juan. It doesn't matter. Like Bad Bunny will take the money. It's just the fact that like it would
Logan Paul
like,
is the
Bad Bunny,
issue.
Yeah, Logan Paul. No, it's not even Logan Paul. It's his brother. Like again, Logan Paul uses Puerto Rico as a place, but he doesn't really rep it. His brother does. Like
yeah.
Remember, he's gonna, if Bad Bunny does a promo, he's gonna bring up his brother. He's gonna bring it up, and that's the point, that as an executive in WWE, you want to get those two different volatile things far away as possible. Because again, what if Bad Bunny did this in New York, Chicago, Florida, any of like the mega wrestling places, and also any of the place, dude, if he went to Philly, he's fucked. If he went to Philly, and I could ask an Invisible Woman, like, and she knows a lot of Puerto Ricans, like, they don't like Logan Paul just for the fact that he's repping the flag, and now worse because of the Amanda Serrano fake Americans things, and that it's just bad booking. And a tag team, great, because like Damian Priest is like he's a Puerto Rican, okay, but like Benito's like, esto un cabrón puertorriqueño. Hay una gran diferencia entre Damian Priest y Benito.
Right.
Different thing, not in skill, just like levels of like Puerto Ricanness. And I hate to say it like that, but like,
no, I mean, dude, Bad Bunny literally did a whole residency for his thing and it sold out. Had people coming from America like LeBron to Puerto Rico for the concert. Like, yeah, no, I agree. It's unfortunate. But again, Logan Paul, I don't know. Now I know how hated he is, like in Puerto Rico and all that stuff. But it's. I don't know. I don't know. I think Jake really gives him a bad look now, especially after that comment he made after the Super Bowl. No, and you're right with that with Serrano too. She's like she's heavily involved with Jake. Like I don't know how people feel about her.
No, they hate her. No, dude, it's just they are really spitting in her face in Carolina. She can't even go around Carolina without getting like that's like it's bad for her because even though she made a statement, she's like, "Oh, I give all and everything to Jake Paul. He gave me the opportunity and everything, but I don't condone his words. It's not cool to say that." I'm like, you're a Puerto Rican from Carolina, cabrona, and you're gonna talk like you're fucking from Ohio on Blind Love. What the fuck is that? No, what you should have said is that, mira, he's my boss and I respect him for giving me money, but vete pa'l carajo este mamabicho para decir eso. Honestamente, que me caga la madre ese mamabicho. And he would have been like, okay, I mean, you disrespected me, but I deserve it.
Yeah,
because you can't say shit. Again, this is I forgot who said that. I think it was EOD or someone in my crew. He's banned in Japan. He doesn't want to get banned in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't. People will for like $100 and a good blunt. Honestamente.
Wow, I didn't know it was like that with him.
No, it was. That's why I was very passionate to get Alex. He lives in the island.
I know. That's why I just wanted to.
And he's living through it. It's not us reading it. It's not just Jap GPT or Gronk telling us. No, we're hearing it from someone who experienced it, who lived off of eating the arroz con salchicha or just the salchicha en lata, not having air conditioning, not having AC, not having all the comforts that here in the people in the United States are having. But meanwhile, the people in the United States have the quickest opinion and the quickest point who's bad or not when they're not going through it. That's why I wanted him on. I would love to have Demon Diva NYC because she lives over there too on and have that conversation. I don't know if she wants to talk that on our platform. The forum is open for her as well to come on and speak about this and tell us as well. I that's why I'm very passionate with all the different wrestlers from Puerto Rico, from now Alex, a good friend, and everyone else from the island, because maybe we need to have these conversations because people have this concept. Puerto Rico is a United States territory. The people that are born in Puerto Rico, they are United citizens at birth. They're not illegals. They're not outcasts. They have a social security card. They have every benefit, everything. They could come and go into this country, in and out, anywhere with the blue passport. They're not, and we keep getting treated like second-class citizens. Enough is enough with it. I think, and this is my opinion, only, it's time for them either to be a statehood where they could vote in the presidential election, not limit them as well, and have a voice said on who represents this nation.
Now, the piggyback on that real quick, that would work if two things would happen. Two things. One, as a society, we would not be, and this is statistical, Census did this by 2024, 25% to 32% of Puerto Ricans, which is 3.2 million people here, are bilingual. That's only like less than a million. Let's say like that, less than a million, more or less than that. We have to push the standard and use it. And first of all, we have to fix the educational system here. It's trash. Like I said, unless you're in private, military, or religious military private, it's trash. Like I know some kids that have done fucking robotics by 16. That's badass. Now, the second thing, to become a state, like I wish we become a state, but we never will, because again, people tend to forget that we're part of the U.S. People and most Puerto Ricans here don't consider themselves American. I don't consider myself American. I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm a Puerto Rican living in Puerto Rico. I'm American when I go to Burger King and buy a burger. I'm American when I go to Walmart and buy me some shorts. But going to the colmado, going to the beach, like, I'm Puerto Rican. Anyone else would say that? Someone left a comment on my thing like, "Oh, you're not Puerto Rican. Like, you're a Puerto Rican American." Like, no, Papi, I'm Puerto Rican. I was born in America. I was raised until I was 8. And then I went to the military, did all that shit. But my blood, my soul, when I wake up every morning and I smile, is Puerto Rico. And it's not just a race thing. And I want to say this now. There's a lot of Chinese people that are not Chinese people here. They're Puerto Ricans because they were born. They came here in the 30s and 40s. They have third generation Puerto Ricans that are growing up here. Ah, tú eres chino. Como carajo soy chino, cabrón. Soy de Manatí, mamabicho. Like, you're Puerto Rican. Boom, that's it. It's all about the culture. It's all about living here and understanding that the shit happens. It's okay. Living here in Puerto Rico, it's a randomizing of happiness or despair. A randomizer. Okay. Some days you'll have the greatest day in the world. One day you're just going to a colmado and there's a gunfight. Or maybe you're going to Santurce and there's a car crash. Or maybe you're just going to Burger King and fucking a car runs into a Burger King. These are things that's happened the last week, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Puerto Rico, a car ran into a Burger King. 72-year-old woman. Why? She wasn't drunk. So think about that. Think about that here, ladies and gentlemen. You want to come to Puerto Rico? We love you. We will open with arms wide open, just like Creed says. But Jedi Sports knows I have a segment called Rican versus Tourist. And there's a reason I hate, absolutely loathe that segment. But it's the most videos and clicks I've ever had in my life. I hate it. Stop doing it. Rican versus Tourist for me. Love you. That's all I gotta say. But come to Puerto Rico, Green. You'll have fun. They will treat you like a king. You give respect, they give you respect. You give respect the second you get off the boat, they will treat you like their own brother. They will bring you to the house. They give you the shirt off their back.
Now, if I went there, because without my parents, and I was like, yo, my parents are from there, they give me respect.
Yeah, like what part?
And I speak
part? Oh, gee. Yeah, because
okay.
it does. If you try to rep, then yeah, like, oh, we're like, no. If you say, look, my parents weren't here, I want to come back home to Puerto Rico and do that. Yeah, you can. There's a couple of content creators that came back from the States to Puerto Rico. Oh, I mean, Aguadilla now, I'm happy, and people like they didn't consider him a Puerto Rico, like a Puerto Rican, but after like him actually talking about the island and actually helping the island, like, no, this guy's a Puerto Rican. This guy's a Puerto Rican. Because if you give love here, they will give love back to you. There's always going to be haters, no matter where you are.
No.
The majority of us will always give you love here. That's the best thing about this island.
I love Puerto Rico. I've always had great experiences. I used to go every summer, so fun time.
Yeah. Just don't go to Bayamon. I get flack for saying that every single time. I don't
go there.
Dude, there's memes. God.
I got my specific 3 locations that I go.
Okay. I can guess too. Probably Culebras. Probably somewhere in Santurce, because that Placita Santurce fucking shit, it hits. If you're single, you ain't gonna be single that night. And probably, and I would say this, La Cuevas de Camuy. Go to Camuy. There's some beautiful caves in there. It's awesome. There's a Taíno symbol that literally etched by Taínos on the. It's quite beautiful. The food is tremendous. You will get a bacalaito twice the size of your head for $5.
See, I used to go to Crash Boat when I was a little kid. I used to go to Crash Boat Beach all the time when I was a kid. So this is before the hurricane took down that long bridge across. That's my childhood. When I used to go visit Puerto Rico, that's my childhood.
It's still
beach.
there.
It's Crash Boat. Yeah, but the wall's not as long, right? Because of the hurricane.
No. It's. I have to put my fingers here. It's gated because of safety.
Oh man, it wasn't like that when I was
They fixed it. They fixed it because there was a couple of depths.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like,
maybe I have to go. Maybe I have to go back there next summer. Oh, cool. That was my favorite place as a kid. I used to go every summer.
Oh, it's awesome. It's still there. Like I would recommend for you, if you get off the airport, go around the island from San Juan to Aguada to
we flew. My family, we used to fly the kites right there.
Woo!
We've done it all.
Hmm.
See, I always rep. I always rep. I always got the flag back here. I always rep.
It's
I
always
never
here for
lived
you.
there. I never lived there. My parents are born and raised there, but I like to go there. Me and my
Here-
uncles,
no.
my brother, like to go there.
Here in Puerto Rico, my mom said this when I was young, and it resonated to me. This is how the life of a Puerto Rican: you wake up, you thank God that you're awake and alive. You go to work, you do the grind, get off work, you cook or you clean, you sit down, you enjoy the 2-3 hours of happiness that you can get, and you go to sleep. That's your cycle. That's Puerto Rican life, and it's quite simple. Some people in my life don't like that because, like, well, it's too simple. Simple works. Just it's the time of the old day. Like, you still you like only in this world, and not only in this world, but only in Puerto Rico that I can understand that you can go to a supermarket and then see some chickens and some ducks and some pigs outside, and they're not owned by anybody. But then you can go to a metro area and dance and boogie and everything, and then the next morning you see a pig knock over your trash can. Like, what the fuck? Like that's Puerto Rico. Like, we're just crazy but simple. That's all I gotta say.
Alex, appreciate that. Was great insight there. I love the fact that we shed some light on the beautiful island of our heritage. Also, everyone know about that, and the misconception that some people might have is, I'm not going to say that we're asking you to totally change your mindset, because there's a lot of stereotypes, out there for right, wrong, and difference. But we're just telling you from the experience that people live, like an Alex in the island, like us as being a heritage from Puerto Riqueño heritage, and bringing that culture, not forgetting about our traditions, our culture, our heritage, and how important, why we get so emotionally behind when we see La Bandera Puertorriqueña, and why we love it and why we are behind it. That's the reason why I wanted to bring that light, and why I don't think Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, for many reasons, are not going to stop wrestle. People say, "Oh, because," but now we're giving you a reason why. How much and these things that we think of, Bunny kind of, you can see what he talks about, talking about los apagones, the people working the sugar canes, and the culture, even the culture in the United States, from the different towns, the cities in New York, and all that, the struggles of the from 1960s and 50s, from the invasion, from all the Puerto Ricans coming to New York City and growing up, and all the different struggles and all that. He hasn't forgotten. That's why it's something that I wanted to bring to light.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I always tell people, like, find your dream, find your happiness. Like Bad Bunny said, like, every Puerto Rican here cried when that Super Bowl happened, because it was something that we never expected. We never expected a Puerto Rican to be on the stage, and completely in Spanish. Completely and utterly in Spanish. I mean, mine is Lady Gaga, and apparently cryo frozen Ricky Martin, wherever the hell he came from, because he looked like 30 years younger with the hair dye. But love you, Ricky, but I don't know what the hell you did there. It hit me, and I thank you guys for letting me on here. Again, we're all part of a family that just wants us to grow, and I want people to understand, like, I am a Puerto Rican living here, but I'm not America. No, I am an American, but I am a Puerto Rican at heart, and I understand that living here and going back and forth, there's benefits and curses, but understanding that no matter where you are, Puerto Rico, Philly, Ohio, Canada, Los Angeles, you find your home, you find your culture, you find the people that love you. Never let that go. That's worth more than gold, diamonds, and Kim Kardashian's ass. Pre-Kanye, not post-Kanye. So that's all I gotta say. But I also want to say an announcement, if I could, sir. Like, it's because we're all part of a specific network. I've just been informed by Evil Dose that me and EOD Wrestling Hub 33 are going to be the new host of the Evolve Wrestling podcast on the Wrestling Soup and Friendos network. And the new title, The Evolve Effect. And it will be a 1 hour guaranteed-ish, not craziness, short version of Evolve. I say guaranteed-ish. So I'll put that out there.
That's just right. We're part of the. We've been participating lately. This week with Wrestling Friendos, with Jeff Lipman. Appreciate him a lot. He's been really awesome to work with and deal with. Good dude, opening up the doors there. Throw some TNA content, AEW content, heading that way for Wrestle Soup and Friendos there. So yeah, we appreciate being part of that collaboration, being part of that family, being part of the Evolve family as well. You guys, been waving that flag for Evolve on the PUWF podcast. Please take a moment to go and check them out. Follow, of course. So NXT time with D-Walk. Of course, tonight they have a live, I believe, at 9:00 Eastern time.
Yeah. We are having a live. We wanted to ask you if you wanted to join. We're going to talk about the Stephanie Vakir and the supposed, I have to say supposed and allegedly guy that almost did a femicide on her. Like, there's a big story. He just got out of jail. He just got out of jail like 2 days ago. And he's saying that it's all a lie. He's going to get a lawyer. Like, he's on this. So we're going to talk about that tonight.
I definitely have to send the links and definitely want to hear
if I'm not doing anything, I'll definitely,
We'd love to hear that conversation, be part of it as well. Of course, this is what we do. This is we also want to shout out our guy, Aaron Loves Wrestling, who invited us on last night's podcast. We had a really good afternoon chopping it up with him, also part of that. Marie Shadows as well. Marie Shadows on Rumble. She breaks things down, one of the many fellow Boricuas, New Yorkers out there that are doing her thing in not just in the shadows, but now taking it to the light. So wanted to give her a shout out as well. Really love this here. Since I got you here, Alex, can you give us a breakdown of Evolve this week that just passed? Because we don't have an Evolve corner. We don't have or an Evolve breakdown. I would love to hear what's going on in the world of Evolve.
Okay. In the world of Evolve, episode 48, we had Chuy Martinez, who's a fat bastard who sucks. He was in the beginning of the show, taking out Kendall. I'm sorry, I have Chuy Martinez hate. That's on me. And he's a fellow Puerto Rican too, but Bobby, just because you're Puerto Rican doesn't mean you're shit. You are. Kendall Gray and PJ Vasa came off with the contract signing. PJ Vasa made the stipulation, which is kind of weird that the opponent, not the champion, made the stipulation of a street fight. PJ Vasa attacks Kendall Gray and leave it like that. Blake Howard is the new commentator of Evolve. Robert Stone has left to go to do interim GM manager. Peter Rosenberg has automatically turned heel. And one of his sentences, he said, I went to the powers that be and wrote down a petition to get Robert Stone fired immediately. Just me, no one else. I'm like, damn, that's messed up. He was your partner for so many episodes. Dante Chen versus Brooks Jensen. Brooks Jensen looks like a woolly mammoth from the 80s, but really good wrestler, slow, building up. The match sucked because Dante Chen, who never does wrestling holds, did wrestling holds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't even get me started. That Terrell hates Dante Chen too.
I love Dante Chen.
I know you love Dante Chen. Terrell does not at all. Brooks Jensen, also coach FCHW, hates Brooks Jensen. So now we have I'm making a poster soon called the Unwanted List of Chuy Martinez, Dante Chen, and Brooks Jensen behind an apocalyptic world. Like, that's the unwanted list of wrestlers that we just don't want on Evolve. After that, but Brooks Jensen won using his new gimmick that he's using his knee brace as a weapon to do like the jumping backbreaker. So like the Roderick Strong finisher doing on that. So that's that. Wendy Chu had a promo talking about like she wanted to help Kelly Armstrong with therapy, but Kelly Armstrong punched her in the stomach. She's like, look, therapy helped for me, but don't get it twisted. We're going to run this back next week. Kelly Armstrong is saying that is in the promo as well, saying that she has her fire back and she's ready to have a match. So next week, we're going to have Kelly Armstrong and Wendy Chu for the first time ever. The non-sleepy, and this is the new Wendy Chu. Therapy Wendy Chu, no more sleepy time. She talks. She's actually very eloquent and very very nice.
She's gorgeous. I find her gorgeous without the makeup and stuff.
I do too. And then she's vicious. She's much more vicious, and you can see her emote a lot more than just being a zombie. Backstage, Aaron Rourke, Sean Legacy, and my main man, Mike Cunningham, who is, as EOD calls him, Tom Cruise from Cocktail or the other one, is talking to Vanity Project. They want his help. They want their help because there's a 10-man tag next week between Team PC and Team ID. So they all agreed. Swipe right with the three guys are going to be a 5-man tag. That's pretty cool. Next match was It's Gall versus Drake Moreau, or I call Mr. Waterboy. It's Gall came out, did a lot of poses. He did do a studometer of Drake Monroe on a Blake Howard. It's hard to get studometers. It's super hard to get studometers because they come out random. Like, you got to go look at everybody's like connected just to get one. So I found one. He gave Drake Monroe a 0. Peter Rosenberg complains that he's still a 1.5, and Otis is a 1.6 on the studometer. So he's 1 point below Otis. And Moreau won with the spinning discus lariat, but he's very unique because he does the water boy sounds while doing the lariat. So he does the and then does it. So he does that. And then he does a choke slam they call the swamp slam. Cam Hendricks came up to him and said, hey, do you want to join my team? We're missing one guy. Jax Presley is hurt. He's not hurt. He's going to LFG. That's why they wrote him off. Keanu Carver is in NXT. Wrote him off. And Drake Moreau said, you know what? I'm going to see what side of history I'm going to be in. He walks away. After that, we get to the main. After that, we get to the main event. Nikita Lyons and Ariana Grace versus Mason Holiday and Layla Diggs. This was a
Kev, you saw that too? The breaking news? Yeah.
Breaking news. I'm sorry, Alex. Breaking news.
I didn't want to interrupt, Alex.
Salsa icon, New Yorican icon, Puerto Rican icon, Willie Colon. Que Dios descanse, Willie Colon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw that just a couple minutes ago.
I'm sorry. To me, that hits me hard for my the passing of Willie Colon. I grew up on that man's music.
He was the last person to find you. That's it.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm sorry to take the wins out of your sail there.
No. Quite right. I'll say this real quick.
Keep going.
Okay. Match was okay. 3 rookies against Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons has been improving exponentially. It's like basically, if you want to use Dragon Ball Z terms, she went on the ship on the way to Namek and just got better, hella better. Great tag team at the end. They interfered. They kind of like did some shenanigery, kicked Layla Diggs in the head. Ariana Grace did the Grace Bomb for the 1, 2, 3, and Ariana Grace and Nikita Lyons won. And at the end, Tay Wilder came out and said, there's a 10-man tag coming up next week, so I'm going to be the special guest referee. And on the Evolve podcast, I call him the snitch because he doesn't do wrestling anymore. He just like snitches on everybody. Like, hey, there's someone. Hey. I'm like, he's just a snitch, bro. And that was Evolve. So next week is going to be Callie Armstrong versus Wendy Chu. Is going to be the 10-person tag. And Harlem Lewis is going to fight Brooks Jensen on Succession. That's in 2 weeks. That's the Evolve podcast. Also, Chewy sucks.
I've been hearing that Nikita Lyons has been improving it. Our guy Aaron Loves Wrestling here, who had us on his show yesterday, he said Nikita's improving a lot too. So maybe I might have to check her out to see what she's doing, Kev.
Exponentially. Okay, to give you a reference of when she changed, find the Wendy Chu versus the Nikita Lyons match. From that point on until now, she's been working exponentially better. Her kicks are better. Her moves are better. She's crazy. She's literally the Joker on Evolve. She'll say whatever, and on top of that, she's the only one, except for It's Gall and Drake Moreau. She's the only one that on her programs on Instagram, it all connects to Evolve. It all goes back to her show on Wednesday because she knows that, hey, this is my show now. Hey, I'm going to make everyone come to my show. But yeah, she's great. She's great, dude. Check her out. It was a good match.
So let me ask this about Nikita. Do you think would it benefit her to do like a little bit of a time in wrestling in TNA to help her skill set to another level, to more bumps there with different caliber of wrestlers? Not that she's leaving, not that she's leaving, but collaborating. You know how they send Adriana Grace back and forth.
I know. Yes and no. I think the metamorphosis of Nikita's not done quite yet. She's almost there. I think by when I want to, and again, I'm being biased here, but I would love for her to leave, go to TNA for a rental only after she's had a title shot. Only after. Because again,
that gives her a little more credibility coming in.
No, not even credibility. Just to show them. Yeah. The word is credibility. Just kind of to show them, because she could do she did a match. She already did a 4-way match with Callie when she was the champion. So she's done a championship match type of thing. I get that. I feel, for some weird reason, I feel that she's not there yet. She's found a character, but she's still tweaking it just enough. Her moves are there. Her moves are spectacular because now she's more crisp. And she can move her body a lot more because she lost the weight, but something's missing. But in TNA, yeah, become Sting Joker. Just really go nuts. Just have fun because she realized it. No one's gonna stop me if I make everyone think I'm crazy. It worked for Dean Ambrose for 5 years, so why can't it work for me? So
That's fair.
also, and also, I want to give her. It freaked us out. It freaked us out on the live. She actually commented on our live yesterday. Like, not me on Thursday. On Thursday, she actually was on the live and talking about that. I'm like, holy crap! And that's the connection that I think Invisible Woman said this. We're in the new era of wrestling fans. That if you're humble with the wrestling fans and they see that, hey, we support you, they will talk to you back. Chantel Monroe is subscribed to the PWF channel. Nikita Lyons is subscribed to the PWF channel. Shiloh Hill is subscribed to the PWF channel. It's Gall, and I know I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not gonna say his YouTube channel because he gets mad when I say it. It's on the YouTube. It's subscribed to our YouTube channel. We don't force it. That's the point.
Right.
Like, they want exposure and they realize like the main company is not going to do it for them. They're not. Ariana, you know what Rizzo's doing? Red Sauce rants. Because she realizes like I can make money just doing reviews of NXT.
Yes.
Chantel's doing a segment called What's in My Purse. She got like 20,000 views. Just literally what's in my purse. That's it. That's all you gotta do. But yeah, rental for 3 months though. For Nikita Lyons, 3 months. That's it. Kind of like what Briggs' partner did. 3 or 4 months. Bye.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just a nice run because you'll see different advice from different coaches at the moment to unlock something in Nikita Lyons. Just there's something. Nikita Lyons is on the cusp of breaking out, and there's something missing that she needs to unlock. And maybe now she's starting to feel 100% healthy in her body, her knees, where now she's feeling comfortable. You know, maybe the wrestling game has slowed down for her, being now kind of, you could say, a veteran now in that Evolve locker room, or in NXT Performance Center. She's now a veteran. Now things are slowing down. Maybe she starts seeing a different aspect. Maybe I need to work this way. I don't need to do so forth. And it's starting to show her improvement week in, week out. And now it's, maybe it's time for her to sink or swim. It would be perfect for her. And I think she feels that. I think she's ready. Up to the task to sink or swim now.
They need somebody because NXT is bare bones right now. It is bare bones.
Yeah, we've been saying that about with all the talents heading up, and it doesn't reflect their ratings, which is kind of weird. When they had a lot of heavy hitters, when they had that collaboration, when they did the last year at the Theater of Madison Square Garden with the TNA title matches that felt like it could have been a PLE, they only drew 600,000 plus. This week they drew 700, almost 800,000, and I scratched my head where the show was not. I personally didn't enjoy the show to that level of 700 plus. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't captivating. Where my goodness, I could see where 700,000 plus people watched it, and it makes me scratch my head. And they need that influx of talent for the talent to evolve. It has to be. There's got to be something. It's got to be something. Maybe not the exit of that Ava brought in Robert Stone, and Robert Stone is that person that if you're an old school TNA fan, you kind of know who he is, a little bit of him. And if you're watching him, with Evolve as well as NXT, you could see the kind of Robert Stone influence of it. I don't know. We're just trying to pinpoint it of where it is.
I know where it is. It's if you think about it, the kind of influx of I'm kind of want to watch NXT now, even though it sucks. I kind of want to watch it is when the Evolve talent came in, when Carver and Legacy and VP came in, and Eli Knight and LaFleur, even though LaFleur was supposed to go to Evolve, they didn't. But those guys, now we have a new influx of people. I like to see Carver. I know the match between Carver and Legacy on Tuesday is going to be a massacre. But Legacy has shown me for 40 episodes he can sell it, so it's going to be a great match. VP are ridiculously funny. And they're a hot commodity right now. They're making people laugh. And Eli Knight is a showmaker. So that's why I'm thinking Robert Stone's there. And by the way, shout out to Evolve. They finally got a sponsorship. It's the General Insurance. Shout out to you guys. You finally got a sponsor. But think about it this way. Remember when the Lucha Underground was around and that small amount of people were just watching about 250,000, 300,000, little small niche. But when those wrestlers went to WWE and AEW, that's a factor as well. This Evolve thing, if the Evolve experiment is working, people are watching other shows because they want to see, oh shit, Carver's on NXT. Let's see what happens. Because I only watch NXT if Carver, Legacy, and maybe Renton Claire and Kendall Gray. Because Kendall Gray can make a great match. Give her. I will staunchly believe this. Give Kendall Gray a blow up doll like Ibushi. She'll sell it. She will sell a match, and that's what you need right now. People that can sell a match. And they have it in a sense in the men's division. On the women's, no, they ain't got nobody. And I swear to God, you better not take anybody from Evolve. No. We're just getting back Aria Bennett.
Yeah,
Aria
she's
Bennett
great. I love her. I think she's yeah. Ariana Bennett is
just
awesome.
Her back.
She is so athletically gifted. I said Kelly Armstrong has to be on, and I hate to say this, she needs to be on NXT already.
Yeah, she needs to be. So does Kendall. But those two, that's it. I would back in the day, a year ago, I would say Wendy Chu as well. 1 year later, no, Wendy is Evolves her home. Evolves her Puerto Rico. She ain't leaving.
No, and it makes sense there because she's helping tell stories and helping the wrestlers learn how to tell stories with her. She's right now elevating. That's her not by pins and losses, but elevating with making you care about her opponent in the ring across from her because of the way she could tell a story and Evolve. I totally agree. I can see that as well. Why she's important there in Evolve going forward. Yeah. And even Dante Chen, regardless a lot, if you don't like him or not, or where he's there to tell stories. I seen it done when he was on Level Up, and I get why Dante Chen there because he is a Uber live event crowd favorite. No matter where he goes, Dante Chen is an Uber crowd favorite. Everybody likes going, and he's just the music, the intro. And I understand. Is he ever going to be top of the wrestling card? I don't know. I don't want to limit and put my words and say he's not. But for as of right now, he's got a important task in the WWE NXT Evolve family, which I'm good for it. I'm for it. I'll support it for Dante Chen. You know.
I don't like Dante Chen because he's just a one note character. He's got the gimmick and but like you got to.
No, that's fair.
Robert Stone said it before he left. He needs to be edgier. There's something missing in Dante Chen, and I remember when he was like a ninja hanging out with a ninja clan. That's cool, but like you don't have to be that. But like something else. Like this. Brooks Jensen is just the 80s wrestler. He's accepted it. He's not going to change it. People don't like it or not. Doesn't matter. That's him. Dante Chen, you can't do this when you're 55. No.
I know. But I know. He's playing the gimmick. I get it when it comes to him. Hey, the same thing we say about Elijah. Could he play a different set of chords with his guitar?
I know it's not going to be Gal forever. I know Drake Moreau is not going to be that Bayou boy that when he comes in, he gives the cameraman beads. He gives a couple people beads. And he bops. Like he's not going to be that forever.
Alligator Boy. Let's face it. His biggest conquer from the swamps is Roxanne Perez.
Oh yeah, which I love that he only shows a picture of her on her Instagram on Valentine's Day. He never talks about her only except for Valentine's Day. Like, no, I'm talking about meats and how to make meats. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I get it. Like, you have a girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I do. Here she is on Valentine's Day. Okay. Damn. But that's all I gotta say. I gotta go, guys, because I gotta fucking start making.
We gotta continue. Thank you for having us. Thank you for bringing in the light. Thank you for the Evolve breakdown and the problem in Puerto Rico, the Rican reactions. PWSM the links to us in our privates to show up tonight and have a conversation. I'm interested to hear that debate and that conversation you guys going to break down. I'm very intrigued. So yes, please follow Rican Reactions. If you're on my YouTube channel, he's one of my channel features. You know, you look it down, channel feature, boom, Alex there. Of course, you're going to find all his socials across all the social media platforms. Let's blow this man's socials up and let's continue to grow because we have done it before in the past here and we're going to continue to do it. Always support from what 3-4 years now, Alex, that we've been collaborating and supporting.
Yeah, 3-4 years from the beginning when I had my first channel before it got erased. Yeah, shout out to Alex Coquito. That's gone. But I love you guys. I'm out of here.
Have a good
one, brother. Happy. I'm out.
Thank you, guys. That was great conversation there with Alex Coquito. This was cool, Chris. Anything we want to get into? We're going to get into we talked a little NXT. We're gonna get right into All Elite Wrestling because you did a phenomenal job hosting. But before we get that, I want to take hear thoughts from our sponsor so we can get right into the Elite Wrestling, the build for Revolution. So let's hear from our coffee sponsor.
Sports Jedi Nation, you already know how I move. I don't start my day without two things: standing firm in what I believe in, and a cup of coffee that actually represents those values. That's why I rock with Blackout Coffee. It's a 100% American company, unapologetic, patriotic, pro-Second Amendment, an anti-woke nonsense, no corporate posturing, no virtual signing, just real coffee for people who still believe in God, family, and freedoms. Every bag is a roast right here in my beautiful state of Florida, and it's shipped straight to your door. Fresh, bold, no compromises. If you need to hit the ground running, the Morning Reaper I suggest, a medium roast that goes smooth, powerful, and kicks like a mule. Support a company that actually gives a damn about this country. Go to Blackout Coffee Rumba. Use my promo code Rumba for 20% off or Sports Jedi 20 of your first order. Blackout Coffee. Wake up, stand up, never back down. Fuel your freedom. Real coffee with real values. A bold, backed by freedom. Wake up and think free. And may the sports be with you.
Indeed, may the sports be with you. Absolutely. Don't forget to hit that promo code. And now, here we go. We did a phenomenal. Oh, what is going on here with my setup? We had a phenomenal time. This guy broke this review down. He knocked it out of the park. We're not going to spend too much time because he reviewed. You need to check out that review live from direct. It's NXT breakdown with PGA Chris. Chris, let's talk about
AEW. Yeah, AEW Dynamite. It wasn't a bad show. Couple things I talked about here. I think they could have started out the show with Hangman versus MJF in the face-to-face. Face-to-face didn't hit as much, but obviously the main thing people are talking that came out of that was Hangman never challenging for the world title ever again. I think like you said yesterday when we talked with Aaron, maybe he meant to say as long as MJF is the world champion, because I'm not a fan of Hangman. I don't think his title run, I think he has one of the worst title runs, especially its first one, but I do think he's still one of your big name talent. You can't have him just disappear from the main event scene in AEW for the title picture. So that's they got to figure some way to get out of that. And I think they will with the stipulation. Maybe MJF is like, just don't challenge it as long as ever I'm champion. Maybe that's a part of his stipulation that they could fix that. But it wasn't bad. Kenny versus Swerve wasn't a bad main event. They went really long. They didn't have to have that Kevin Knight match in there. It was unnecessary, but I kind of draw a blank on who it was against. But it wasn't a bad show. The matches weren't bad. Obviously, everyone's talking about that spot in the Willow match with Megan Bain. It just felt more like a tag team type of thing. I couldn't connect to it until the end because Mina and Willow didn't want to hit each other, and Marina and Megan didn't want to hit each other until the end. So it felt like a fatal four-way tag team until the end. It didn't really feel like everybody for themselves. But the wrestling was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I wanted to talk about because I wanted to get the footage or the promo, but just wanted to stay away from any copyright issues or anything like that. So we're going to err on the side of precaution. I was saying, I teased it where he says, there's a stipulation where, I think Hangman could get away with challenging for a world title. He keeps saying the men's world title. Maybe he challenges for the women's world title. Who knows? I mean, he gets back into the world title picture on that. But I think if you missed out our interview, we urge you and we applaud you to go to Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast. Yesterday's episode, February 20th, we spoke in good length about the AEW men's title picture where we thought that it might have been Hangman a little nervous in the live crowd where he's thinking overthinking that I gotta deliver a banger of a promo because I'm in the ring with a guy who could really eat my lunch with words. And we saw that the same thing with CM Punk, where he got a little flustered and said he spoke something he wasn't spoke. We even made an example when it's supposed to be MJF who's supposed to put the stipulation to this match, and then Hangman blurs it out like diarrhea in the mouth. Texas death match. Well, can we wait until next week so MJF to put that out there? You're the cowboy from Texas. I'm gonna beat you in your own game, Texas death match. But he blurted out. Like, I don't know if there's a nervousness that comes upon Hangman Page, being in front of like how he gets that deer in the headlights with his words. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. And he misspoke. Never challenging for the world title as long as you're champion. Maybe he misspoke. I don't know how they're going to walk that back. Unless if they're going to actually have Hangman win the title and have a 24-hour or 48, whatever, 72-hour of him champion, and then Dynamite MJF wins it back. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. I hope
it's going to be lame. I know. I can hear the negativity of that thought process, but that's the one way of protecting the cowboy. And look, and I know the IWC says a lot of negative hate about the guy, but Chris, the guy, I didn't see a whole fan base rally behind Hangman, being the one to beat Moxley. Everybody was behind this guy in Texas. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves to jump on the Hangman horse, no pun intended, to ride him as the babyface, as the chaser. But then I don't know what it is that the minute the guy becomes champion, everybody jumps off his bandwagon and wants to book the title off of him. What is it with Hangman?
That's a good question, because I feel like I only wanted Hangman to beat Moxley because we needed somewhere to go with the world title. I knew Hangman could bring that back. But I don't think that we've seen Hangman go against a lot of people. And he's a pillar of the company. His first reign wasn't great, and I think it's because the people he's going to the ring against are better than him. When it comes to working on the mic, face-to-face, he looks like a deer in headlights when he's in the ring with somebody that's better than him. When he's with somebody like Swerve, who I don't think is a great in-ring promo either at sometimes, he works well with Hangman, and they have a great feud. And when Hangman doesn't try to scream and try to make his point across that way, he's better. Because in his Swerve feud, he wasn't doing that. He was the calm cowboy badass Hangman. He just likes to switch his persona a lot of the times. It doesn't connect with me sometimes. But I think MJ, Aaron, I would slightly disagree with your comment right here, because look how much interesting AEW is, Dynamite specifically, with MJF as your world champion. He's the guy that you need to build that company around. I think MJF's the bigger draw.
No, I agree.
And we're getting into Wembley season. We don't need to flip-flop the titles right now. Will Ospreay's coming back. They had a great match at Wembley 2 years ago. They could easily have another one in the main event right now. You have to keep MJF as your world champion.
Can I ask this question? Could that suggestion work though? Like, we all know Revolution is going to sell no matter what. The building is already almost close to sold out. The AEW, you mentioned, and we said this time and time, and does great when it comes to pay-per-view numbers and viewership. What's hurting right now, or it's not really hurting, it's seeing a little bit of an increase with MJF as world champion and the viewing on the television week to week, whether it's Max, TBS. The ratings are not great, but they're not dismal. They're not going the other direction. They're either balanced or they're increasing. Yes. Wouldn't you leave that night leaving or having Hangman win it on Revolution, only to MJF win it back on Wednesday? Because now people are going to tune in Wednesday for the rematch. You make a big deal the way Tony makes a big deal on Twitter, and the buzz that MJF gets his rematch, or he's hell bent, whatever finish it is, and then he wins it back on Dynamite on Wednesday. I know it's shits on the pay-per-view, but
it's my only.
People are going to shit about it anyway.
This is my only. Well, I can give you a reason why. Okay. I would. I don't know if I'd shit on it, but I can give you a reason right now. I don't know if that will work because, well, it could. I'm not saying it couldn't. It could, but this is why I would say I don't think, in my opinion, that wouldn't make sense. I don't know if sense. Anyway, Hangman When he beat Moxley, he felt like a transitional champion already. Why? Because people were waiting for MJF to come back to win it. We're gonna do the same thing with Hangman Adam Page. Have him win it, and for 40 and over 72 hours, him be another transitional champion after he was just a transitional champion to get. He was a transitional champion to get the MJF the belt. If it was anybody else, if he was a transitional champion to get Swerve the belt, and then MJF beat Swerve, that's different. Hangman was the transitional champion for MJF. That's why I don't think it makes sense to do that again for 3 days. For 3 days, it's going to feel like a Santana run.
I got it, but that's the only way of keeping. But then, how do you keep him in the world title picture? To me,
that's where they fucked themselves this Thursday.
But that's the way this is, and I hate to say this,
and that is the way to put them. That's the only reason. That is the only reason why I could see it playing out, and that I'm not going to be like, okay, this is the way to keep him back in the title picture. You know what else is the way to keep him in the title picture? Having Swerve come out there and interrupt in the main event.
Right, have him come out and interrupt.
Now. He is a heel now.
Right.
Penny. Have him come out at the end of the match, wanting the world title. Screw Hangman over because that's his rival. Boom. You have a reason right there that he can challenge again because he never lost cleanly. Unless it's a but again, if they do a stipulation.
It's a stipulation already.
I can't really.
That's why I say.
I don't know if it's a stipulation match. There's just a stipulation. So if it's like but them already blurring Texas Death is going to make me think that it's going to be some bullshit street fight type of thing. So. Again, I don't really like.
But before the Texas Death Match, the stipulation is Hangman will never challenge for the AEW World Title ever. He already said it. It's already Ebro. He said it not in pencil but in ink. So one way of doing it is you can have where Swerve says, you're the easier champion. I rather face you because I already beaten you, Hangman. That's why he's a heel.
Yeah.
Who how much more heat you're gonna get if he screws MJF out of the world title? There is a way of doing it where it could protect themselves for a short term. And I know it might not look. There was times that Randy Orton and how many times Randy Orton and John Cena switched flip flop titles back and forth with title reigns. It worked, and people don't say they don't look down on John Cena's title runs or Randy Orton. They were flipping titles back and forth a lot, and doesn't mean they need to do it every week, Chris. No. I don't. They don't need to flip up the AEW World Title. But it's okay if they do it in this instance because you just went through a whole, almost 9 months of not seeing the world title and John Moxley title run, long title run. It's okay of a quick, just to keep Hangman in the world title picture. I'm not opposed of it. Will they do it? Only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see.
Only time will tell. I don't think who knows there. But all in all, Dynamite was a solid show for you guys. You guys had it was a solid show. It did a lot of advancement. I wish they would stop with these eliminator matches.
I agree.
Could we have number one contenders matches instead for that continental breakfast title? Could we have that? Give me the number one contenders. Don't need the champion beating the contender because they don't feel like nothing. The same thing with Willow Nightingale. If she was going to defend her TBS, fine. If you wanted to get a number one contenders for her Willow Nightingale, if she's not losing the title, she shouldn't be in any fatal four-way. If she's in, you just got rid of 3 competitors in that division. If you had done number one contenders, you could still keep the story. 4-way number one contenders. Well, I didn't really get a one-on-one. I didn't factor in the pin, whatever the case. But that's a little bit of a disconnect. It's minor. It's minor little details, but you could still keep people relevant and going on forward with it. But all in all, kudos for Dynamite. That was a very entertaining show, and it looks like it's setting up the road to Revolution done right. They're doing the right thing. Good job. Good job on that. On that, one thing I do want to talk about, All Elite Wrestling related, and it's really Ring of Honor. Deonna Purrazzo, frustration of only having one title defense in a year, not being utilized, not working in the company. To me, Deonna, I understand your frustration, but you should have known that when you signed in that contract in that company.
I feel like this isn't the first time we've been talking about Deonna Purrazzo because she's always been vocal about it. Look, that's why she's doing her own thing with Steve. So I don't know. They don't have they have her in a championship that means nothing, and they don't really showcase her. I don't know what else to say about her. She's write out that contract, baby. Let Tony pay for your New Hampshire University. That's all I got.
That's all I got. That's exactly where we are with that. We would love to see your talents be illustrated and showcased on the television, weekly television on any of the brands. If it's on Thursday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturday nights for where the company you work at. Yeah, should you be on more television? Yes, but I don't know what's going on. It's just fortunate. Just I guess you're gonna have to write out your time and stay ready. That's all I could think of for Deanna going forward on there. Speaking of that, we're gonna talk about her husband here, which we got a lot to talk about that with TNA coming up. And then we're wrapping it up here. TNA Impact Thursday night. It was a show where we had a lot of different things here. It was taped. We had a first time ever casket match, guitar casket match. Let's talk about that right now. Where Mustafa Ali, I know we spoke about it a little bit, but let's rehash it real quick. Your thoughts on that casket match with guitar casket match? Unique, rare. Your thoughts?
It was fun. I have no problem with it. It was. I don't want to say rare because Elijah's all gimmick matches. He's all a gimmick, but
okay.
It was a good match. I think Ali's great. It's just a matter of what's he gonna. I know what he's gonna do, but Elijah just feels like he's gonna do this again with somebody else. So
for Mustafa Ali having this loss, but he still has the Order 4 group, Agent Zero. What do we see an X Division opportunity or Trey Miguel for the international title opportunity for? I don't see he's going to be world title material yet. I've said this, and I said this on my review. I could see by the end of 2026, and I said I didn't want to pigeonhorn or book my guy Santana lose the world title. If there was going to be a move where by the end of 2026 or to start 2027, I could see a Mustafa Ali world title run for him.
Yeah, I can't see him getting a world title run because he lost.
But I could see him now trying to go get a international title run opportunity against Trey Miguel. I think the matches will be great.
A lot. I think Elijah. Good. I think Elijah should get that opportunity first since he won this match
for the international.
Yes,
I'm fair. I'm with you as well. But I'm talking about
if Elijah wins that, Mustafa can chase that again. Yeah.
So you think international is a division for Ali or even Leon Slater, and for the X division?
I mean. I think obviously Mustafa fits more of the X division.
Okay.
I think Trey Miguel fits more of the X division. He's literally X division. He's if I don't have to think of Leon, I think of Miguel as your X division guy, and he's your international champion. So they're proving me that anybody could win that damn title. So yeah, you could have Elijah win it. I think he should win it before Ali wins one because he won this match. And they could fight it for it in the future.
I like it because also the international title would love to see defended on different brands, because it's called international. We'd love to see it here, pop up there.
Shiloh got defended. Shiloh.
Yeah. If Elijah wins the title, give him the brown leather strap for Elijah. Oh my God, imagine that! Because I like the custom. Speaking of that, I love the customary green title for Trey Miguel. Came out with that. Cool. That was a very nice look to kick out the show there. One thing that we didn't like was the placement. We thought the Elegance brand coming out first kind of took us off the AMC. I mentioned that again. All this we spoke with on Aaron Loves Wrestling. You could break down and hear our thoughts there, breaking it down, which is rehashing on our channel for the viewers that watch us and listen to us. But please, we urge you to go into Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast to hear our breakdown as well. It's going to sound a little redundant if you follow us before, but we want to put it on our platform as well. Where I thought the Elegance brand was a minor disconnect coming out first. Especially when you come in off an AMC where a new audience, people either watching the movies and wrestling's on, and then you gave us that match. It wasn't hot. The Elegance brand, the male Elegance was cringy again. Not to sound redundant, I thought Ash the tantrum on the floor was like, oh wow, I wish you just would have thrown your headset, on the announce table and stormed out. That would have been different, but you took it a little extra to another level of cringiness. I like the Hertz Donuts by Indy Hartwell getting on Heather by Elegance for the victory, all that stuff. And then the Mike Santana promo should have been what led off and opened up the show. I thought the promo was good with Leon Slater. That's going to lead to a tag match with the Nemeth brothers taking on both Santana and Leon Slater as your champion. You call your shot. Every match that Mike gets in from here on out, there's always going to be a chance where he could be bamboozled, taking the rug underneath him, because you have option C in Leon, the call your shot gauntlet, and the briefcase lurking around against Mike Santana. He has just like the world title picture in AEW with the men's, different opponents, different avenues. So this TNA has for Mike Santana. We're not even speaking about AJ Styles, Chris.
That could be a possibility. Yeah.
There's so many avenues.
Yeah, I like where Santana's going. He has a lot of people. I think what him and Steve Maclin's doing is dope. Keep Steve Maclin around after people thought he wasn't going to be around. But yeah, Mr. Elegance, that whole Elegance brand. Yeah, look, Mr. Elegance was not needed. I'm going to keep saying this. They already had their Mr. Elegance, and it's the concierge. I don't understand why they needed a male wrestler when you have that male elegant in your brand already. They had that since day one. That's why the whole male elegance search was dumb. That's when I kind of fell off of the group. And I don't know how, I don't know why, but 2025 I actually fucked with the elegance brand. Them adding that guy, them doing the whole Mr. Elegance search ruined it for me, because they already had that, and it takes the spotlight away from the concierge.
It took the spot badly away from him. Could it be? Can I ask you? Can you think they had someone else in mind and they announced this elegance man a little too soon?
I don't know. I think I still look this. I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but Perez Hilton would have made more of a sense to be your Mr. Elegant. He's widely famous. Still, people know the name, even though he's not relevant, but he's still famous. He could still be promoting the shows. He could appear on the bigger ones with them. But having this guy that nobody knows, that nobody cares about, he looks goofy. He's just jacked as shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And what the Ash coming back, man, she was better the first time around. She had a lot of momentum, and now she just threw it all away. And yeah,
it's tough to get her momentum.
Not that she threw it all away because shit happens out of her control. I bet that's what it was. But she has not, it's not like she was out for years or a year. So I don't know what happened. I know what happened. Her fucking Lacey Evans, and Paige Van Sant happened. That's her focus now.
The OnlyFans?
Yeah.
The OnlyFans business ventures outside of
TNA is all for that, bro. Apparently, they don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't care. But my point is, Dana's not hitting like she was. I'm not saying she was hitting great, but she wasn't cringe, bro. Going into Slammiversary.
Yeah.
She was just a bitchy heel.
Yeah, and everybody was so enamored with her when she won that Knockouts title at the at No Mercy at NXT TNA crossover. It's sad where they're at there, Chris. All in all, the numbers keep going.
Yeah,
the numbers keep growing for them. That's a good thing for TNA. We love that.
Absolutely.
Heading into the new, possibly the new pay-per-view coming up, No Surrender, the live event in Atlanta coming up. We got one more in Nashville next week. Stack card. I've talked about Mance Warner, AJ Francis, that feud. I'm enamored, rich, ready to go see that, ready to sink my teeth into that feud. Hopefully they're gonna AJ Francis and Mance Warner are gonna knock it out of the ballpark. That's gonna be a feud when we be like, holy shit, this was great for them. I can't wait for TNA, and we're gonna continue our support and love for TNA Impact Wrestling week after week here on the Sports Jedi Network on our channels. Don't forget Wednesday nights immediately after Dynamite, Chris does the live instant reaction of your Dynamite show and so forth. As there We're taking the watch-alongs to Rumble and Kick. We're gonna hold off on YouTube for about 2 weeks or a week or so, and then we'll probably be back for Elimination Chamber on YouTube and so forth. We're gonna you can see it with us there on there. I think we're gonna do that.
PLEs.
Yeah, PLEs. Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, it's pretty. We talked about it earlier in the show. I'm looking forward to see how that show ends. That's how I want to see. I want to see when I don't want to go expectation. They need a home run.
This is literally bottom of the ninth.
And please,
they need a home run.
Please do not compare it to last year's Elimination Chamber. It will never live up to the expectation. Have a different mindset. This is a different blank canvas. If you compare it to last year's Elimination Chamber, you're going to be mildly disappointed. That's all I got to say when it comes to that. Don't forget to follow all of us. PGA's Chris TV Productions, also here on the Sports Jedi Network, all his social media platforms. Don't forget his sponsor, G Fuel, Fuel Up, Energy Up, gfuel.com. Of course, PGA Chris 20, save on G Fuel, as well as Blackout Coffee, American Made, Pro Second Amendment. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/rumble. Save 20% off your first order, or my referral code, Sports Jedi 20, and save more. And we are sponsored by Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes, stay fresh, stay clean, stay match ready. Dude Wipes and the Sports Jedi Network, wiping out the competition. We got some more affiliates and sponsors that are coming our way. We're not going to load you with them, but they're willing to help us grow.
Dude Wipes.
We don't ask you for super chats. We ask you to, but we need the sponsorship. We need to grow somehow financially, and we appreciate everyone. But finally, for tonight, don't forget we're part of the Wrestling Super and Friendos. Thanks, shout out to Jeff Lippman. Appreciate you there. Alex Oquito, the PUWF podcast, for coming on. Marie Shadows in the Shadows. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Appreciate you guys. For me, I want to leave this here for us because we spoke about this with Alex Coquito. Rest in peace to Willie Colon. Who is Willie Colon? Willie Colon is this New York, Puerto Rican salsa from Fania from the 70s. Sang many hits, many cultural hits. If you're a young man from my generation and even now or beyond, his music was inspiring. So many from Ídolo, from so many El Malo, his record teaming up with Héctor Lavoe, the trumpet man of salsa, with New Yorican, proud, lived in the Bronx, lived in New York always, ran for mayor of New York City. This guy, composer, musician, humanitarian. Rest in peace, Willie Colon. Guapea Willie Colon en los cielos. Y hacer la música, salsa, que Dios te bendiga, tu familia. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the childhood memories. With his music, when I hear his music, he's like a soundtrack of my childhood. All that there. So, Willie Colon, que Dios te bendiga, que Dios te descanse, que te dé descanso en las glorias. So, Chris, appreciate you tonight, this afternoon. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time here. Hit that like. Yeet.
This is Sports Jedi Network, the fan-powered, creator-driven home for wrestling, combat sports, and major New York sports talk. Hosted by BX Sports Jedi Kevin, your rapid-fire, high-energy commentator, alongside a crew of passionate young men and ladies bringing the heat every single show. We cover it all: watch-alongs, live reactions, recaps, interviews, and debates from WWE, RAW, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, Dynamite, TNA, Thursday Night Impact Zone and specials, UFC Time with Austin, plus full coverage of New York sports talk. And yes, we tap into the galaxies of Star Wars plus the worlds of Marvel and DC. Breaking news, rumors, fantasy booking, hot take debates, plus major collaborations with PGH Chris TV Production, Wrestling Soup and Friendos, Garden of Thought, PUWF Podcast, Hello Media of the Samuel Lyon TCP Podcast Group. We're fast-paced, we're interactive, we're built for live chat energy and real fan community. Our mission? Real-time reactions, honest takes, humor, interviews, and energy every single show. This isn't just coverage, this is community, this is combat, this is culture. That's Sports Jedi Network. May the sports be with you.